Twitter has announced it will recruit 11 people in Ghana, the company's first hires on the African continent, and that it is looking into opening an office there. The social media company joins Facebook and other tech companies moving into Africa. The jobs advertised in Ghana include positions for engineering, marketing, and communications specialists. Twitter said its new team members will be working remotely under work-from-home policies while it explored the opportunity to open an office in Ghana in the future. Ghana's support for free speech and online freedoms made it the company's choice for its first African location. Ekundayo Onojobi, who is a senior associate of Udo Udoma and Bello Sage, joins me now on Zoom from Lagos. Good to have you join us, Ekundayo Onojobi. These 11 jobs might look rather irrelevant, but when you look at the job numbers in Nigeria, no matter how small, those numbers are needed. So what do you make of Twitter's move to Ghana and not Nigeria?
So I think it borders, you've actually mentioned it before you introduced me, it borders on two things, conducive enabling environment and perception. So the question is, what enabling environment are we creating for these business owners if the laws and the regulations that govern their business space do not actually support their business, then they won't come. And also the issue of perception. How are we being perceived in the international front? Are we being perceived as supporting the business in that space? Now, the business in that space is all about dissemination of information. So the question then is, what laws do we have? What regulations do we have? If you put those two things together, do they support the business that is being sought to be established in that space? If the answer is yes, you will attract them. If the answer is no, then you will not attract them. Really, I think that's really the answer to that.
I like that you said it is the business. That business really is about dissemination of information, because some people argue that that might not just be enough reason not to pick Nigeria over Ghana. But when you look at the fact that that's what they do, and if what I do isn't supported in your country as much as it should be, then why should I move to your country? How credible is that argument? It's a credible argument. You will not put your money where you think your investment is not safe. And if the framework in that subspace is something that would not support me, then I don't want to box myself. So, for example, if they are into the dissemination of information space, and we already, at least we know that there are traction in the National Assembly to begin to regulate social media. And now, I'm not saying for every right there is a corresponding duty. So I'm not saying everything should be left and should be a free for all. But if you are having a legal or regulatory framework that seems to stifle them, and you remember I said when I started, I said it's a combination of both law and perception. So you may have the good framework, you may have something that supports them, but if these things are not properly messaged, or if the businessman perceives that the environment is not enabling, he or she will not come. So it is possible that you have a very good structure. It is possible that you have very good legal and regulatory framework. But if the perception is not properly managed, then you will not get the message delivered. Let's zero in on perception. What sort of precedents do you think that it sets for those other companies who are looking to come to Africa and they see that Twitter moved to Ghana and not Nigeria? What sort of precedents do you think that this sets for Nigeria?
I think it's not good. It actually erodes our brand visibility and brand equity as investment destination. And just to mention that this is not only something that is peculiar to that subspace; it applies across general industry. So I give you an example. For example, I'm advising a client who bought a parcel of land somewhere in Nigeria, and the transaction we bought it from the state government. The transaction was concluded sometime in 2019. Early 2000 or mid 2019, but you'll be surprised to know that till date, as I speak to you, the client has not been able to lay a block on that parcel of land, because people have been coming from the woodwork who also have, or who have one form of interest or the other. And mind you, we conducted our due diligence. Everything seemed free and clear. But for 2 years, the client has not been able to do anything. And the client told us in confidence, you know what, rather than having any reputational issues around this place, we'll just rather pack and go. What do you think that client will tell
their friends abroad. You want to go to Nigeria? This is my experience. I'm not telling you not to go, but this is my experience. I give you an exact example, which is actually still live. A client bought a property, wanted to develop infrastructure, telecommunication subspace, wanting to develop, and then people are coming around and preventing the client from doing that. So all of these things go to affect the perception issue that I was talking about. It is one thing to have the laws. It's another thing for people to have a good taste or good experience when they are coming into your domain. If they do not have that, then you are sending the wrong message.
Absolutely. I mentioned earlier about how this will take a toll or have an impact on job numbers. But let's also look at the tech sector in Nigeria. We have a lot of potential in that sector, but that sector has not fully developed for issues around finance and funding. Is there any way that the key players in that sector can take advantage of this opportunity, though it is in Ghana?
Sorry, can you come again? I missed that.
Is there any way that key players in the tech sector in Nigeria can take advantage of this opportunity, although it is in Ghana?
Yes, and this is where expertise then comes in, but it's a tough sell, but it's possible. I.e., I will expect that, notwithstanding the fact that the business has been situated in Ghana, Twitter will want competent and capable hands manning their tables. So as such, if for whatever reason they don't tend to find that, then you will see them going beyond Ghana to bringing in experts from other space, other neighboring countries in Africa. So that's where Nigeria or those tech experts can actually benefit there. You go in there, notwithstanding the fact that they're in Ghana, you go in there, demonstrate that you have the capacity, the technical competence to deliver on the job. You stand a chance, albeit issues of internationalization and localization may not really work in your favor because you are not a Ghanaian. So Ghanaians will always have the preference.
What should we do as a country going forward in terms of creating the enabling environment for businesses? You also just referenced a client of yours. What more can we do to create an enabling environment for businesses that are willing to relocate to Nigeria, or even start up in Nigeria?
I don't think it's really anything new. It's something that has been said over and over again. We should ensure that we have, and I think we actually do on the framework, on the legal and regulatory framework. I think we actually do have good sets of laws. The second thing we need to do, we have good sets of laws. We need to improve on the relevant regulations. The second thing we need to do is actually to get professionals to man those sectors. You don't put a square peg in a round hole. If you get a professional to man a particular industry, he or she, because he has first-hand practical experience, will be able to steer the affairs of that ministry, of that industry, of that sector in a way that actually encourages investments. Then another thing we also need to do is to ensure consistency of our regulations. There was a time in this country where, on something that pertains to agriculture, a particular ministry was saying this, another agency was saying that. We need to also achieve fusion in our regulations so that we are saying one thing. And also our government needs to understand that everything you do at the national level, everything you do at the state level goes to send a signal to investors. So even if you want to cough as a country, you need to understand that when I cough, what signal is this going to send? So when we ensure that synergy in our regulations, when we ensure that synergy in our actions, and when we empower the right people to sit at the right desk, I think that we will be able to create a good perception that investors will make them comfortable to come into our country.
Absolutely. We need investors because we need the revenue and we need the jobs. Senior Associate of Udo Udoma and Bello Sage, Kundayo Nojobi, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome. Thank you.